friendly face at last. I cannot thank you enough for your aid, sir.
If I might be so bold as to impose upon you again, would you be willing to accompany me to the cenotaph and safeguard me from harm? I fear there are none else to whom I can turn, and if this is not done, the road through these grounds shall forever remain impassable. Pray, will you lend me your aid?
Oh, thank you. I am in your care, sir.
We are to safeguard Sir Oscar to the cenotaph. Shall we be off?
Let us proceed with caution.
Oh, 'twasn't an easy journey, but here we are at last. All that remains is to ring the bell. I only pray it works.
That should do it, eh? Aught seems to be well.
My humblest thanks, sir. I swear I'll never shirk this sacred duty again.
I'd fain reward you for your aid. Heaven knows you've earned it. But I fear times have been rather tough on me. Oh, perhaps you'd accept this key for your troubles. I happened upon it on our way here. I suppose it must unlock something on this battleground, though I confess I know not what. Still, surely it must be grand, as the key is of such ornate make. I pray it is to your liking, sir.
Huzzah! You've done it!
'Tis moments such as these that make an adventure worthwhile. What will our next adventure have in store for us, I wonder?
Yes, sir. Have you procured what I asked? Splendid. You've my gratitude. Unfortunately, I can give you little more than that. Forgive me, but I must return to my rounds directly. Ah, but in place of a reward, mayhap I could give you a tour of the premises. Only if you've the time and inclination, of course. What say you? Would you care to accompany me? As servants of the gracious hand, we provide whatever treatment we can to those unfortunate who are stricken by maladies. Yet, at times, 'tis not enough. Perhaps you will recall the parents who were here when you first arrived. An unfortunate pair. They've suffered no few hardships in the slums, and now even their poor son Lubomir has fallen ill. By chance, he was examined by a roaming man claiming to be a doctor. Yet, the family had not the money for the medicine he required. So, he was put into our care. Here he is. This young man is Lubomir. We've been administering the medicine recommended by the doctor who examined him, but he has yet to show any sign of recovery. To be perfectly honest, I doubt the soundness of that so-called doctor's judgment. After all, there is no shortage of ne'er-do-wells out there, willing to claim their medicine the only cure, that they might inflate its price. But I suppose I ought not say such things so openly. At any rate, I'd best continue on my rounds. Pray, stay as long as you wish. Come, come. We've medicine to prepare. We've enough to make a fresh batch now, thanks to a kind donation.
Psst! You there! Help me! Listen, the sisters here are good to us, but I'm growing weaker day by day. It started with a slight fever, and now I can scarce lift myself up. See that empty bed? An old man was lying in it till just a few days past. He told me he was feeling better, that he'd be well enough to leave anon. And now he's... Mayhap I'm just imagining things. I hope that's the case. And yet... Gah... Something isn't right about this place. Pray, should you hear any queer rumors about the Gracious Hand, come tell me of them, won't you? I'd see to it myself, but I can hardly move.
Might you be a friend of Lubomir's? He's seen better days, hasn't he? There has been talk of sending him down to the basement, should his condition fail to improve. That is, the basement sick room, where our most critical patients convalesce under the Abbess's care. None of the other sisters are permitted entry, including myself. Teles, she gives the patients a special medicine. I know not what kind. At times I hear strange cries and moans drift up from below. Which is to be expected. Those who come here suffer all manner of afflictions, you see. And yet, a part of me is afeared for them.
So, the worst of us are taken to the basement. Mayhap that's the source of the queer voices I hear at night. And none save the Abbess can enter? If the gracious hand has a secret, 'tis the Abbess who keeps it, I reckon. You've done this much for me. Would you be willing to go further? I must find out what goes on down there. You've my thanks. I just can't stomach the thought of lying here not knowing. Of course, all the better should your search come to naught. But if you do find aught amiss down in that basement, it must be the Abbess's doing. Should you find evidence fit to implicate her, will you help me see to it that justice is carried out? See, I've already reported my suspicions to the Sentinels, and we've arranged a signal. If you apprehend the Abbess, they'll know to come and arrest her. So I beg you, sir, find the evidence you need, if it exists to be found.
Medicine? Medicine! 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 Now! Now! Now!
Oh, someone help me. Jahan? Bruno, where have you gone? Oh.
Mayhaps would serve us well to track down the former patients mentioned in these records of treatment. It's no great shock to me.
Elena. Ah, yes. The Abbess of the Gracious Hand. A fine woman by all accounts. I was in her care once myself. But I must admit, I've always felt there's something off about her. You see, I was only a little under the weather when I entered her care. But then I started getting sicker and sicker till I was certain death would come for me. In the end, I survived, but methinks I was one of the lucky few. So many died down there. And once, I saw her, the Abbess, meeting with a strange man. She handed him a large parcel, all wrapped up. And he gave her something small in return. You'd think 'twere medicine, but I'd not have bought medicine from a man like that. He had the look of a scoundrel about him. They were whispering, but I did hear one of them say aught about keeping quiet. 'Tis well suspicious, eh? Where'd they meet? 'Twas in the square in the eastern part of the common quarter, and always a night, as I recall.
Lady Eleanor's a goodly person, a saint-like. Her earnest care saw me back to full health. I wavered between life and death for quite some time in that basement sick room, and she watched o'er me through it all, bless her. Can't say as I miss that basement, mind. 'Tis an eerie place, dark and shadowy, filled with the moaning of the sick. Suppose 'tis only to be expected, given the state of those assembled. I'm sure I was moaning too.
Here.
Aye, this is plenty. Lord Phasus is like to be in your debt. Nicely done. Suppose it can't have been easy to procure this much so quickly.
You suppose wrong. I command their full faith. 'Tis simple for me to extract what I require.
Ha! You're a fearsome one. Here's hoping I ne'er end up in your care.
Enough. I gave you yours, now you give me mine. I'd not be seen here with you.
Ah, of course. Wouldn't want to hurt the Lady Saint's image in the eyes of the common folk, would we? Here's your special medicine.
Glad we understand each other. Till next time.
I be seeing you.
You're back. Pray, tell me, have you found anything? What? You found a medicine used only in the basement sick room? I don't like the sound of that. Do you think... Could I trouble you to look into this as well? Mayhap you could show it to the doctor I saw afore coming here. Radcliffe, his name was. He's staying in the rest town. Pray, sir, do what you can. I must know.
Methinks we would do well to bring this medicine to Sir Radcliffe, the doctor over in the rest town.
I suppose 'tis so?
You're back. Pray, tell me, have you found anything? These look like records of treatment. Johann and Bruno. I know these two. They left here not long ago, fit as a pair of fiddles. I recall them being especially meek to the abbess. Mayhap that's what got them out safely. At any rate, they may know aught of use. Loath as I am to ask more of you, perhaps you would speak to them in my stead?
Like that!
What's going on? How did I get here? I remember. The wolves! How is it I'm still alive? You saved me. Didn't you, sir? I can hardly believe it. Thank you. I would not be standing here without you. How did you know where I was? Did Grandfather request your help? I suppose he must be worried sick about me. If it's all the same to you, sir, I think I'd like to go home now.
Greetings. You are the Arisen, are you not? Tell is you travel quite a bit. Tell me, in your comings and goings, did you happen to encounter a man by the name of Offulv? He seems to have vanished while in possession of a treasure known as the Jadeite Orb. My fellow merchants are scouring the city for him as we speak, but have had no luck as yet. And if I may be candid, our primary concern is not the merchant, but rather the orb. 'Tis an item of precious importance to myself and my partners, you see. I must see it reclaimed, post-haste. And in my hour of need, who should wander by but the good Arisen? What say you, sir? Would you be so kind as to seek out the Jadeite Orb on my behalf? You will be rewarded handsomely for your service. Of that I can assure you.
It seems this Jadeite Orb is in high demand. 2 people have asked us to find it now, but only one of them can have it.
Whatever choice you make, Arisen, I am sure 'twill be the right one.
Rog? Rog, is that you, my boy?
Hello, Grandfather.
'Tis a miracle. You're alive and in one piece. Oh, joy of joys! I thought ne'er to lay eyes on you again.
Grandfather, you're smothering me.
Oh, hush. You don't get to complain of such things after you worried me half to death.
I'm very sorry, Grandfather. I didn't mean to cause you grief.
And you? Words alone will ne'er be enough to express the depth of my gratitude. I am truly in your debt. Pray, take this. 'Tis naught but a trifle in comparison to your kindness, but I hope you will accept it all the same. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for saving me.
Aye? In need of a doctor, are you? What's this you're giving me? Oh, I see. You want me to run some sort of test on this? Determine what manner of substance 'tis? Interesting. Well, you've certainly piqued my curiosity. Whatever your reasons, I'll take a look. Naturally, I'll need a bit of time with it. Come back again in... oh, I don't know. Later. Ah, there you are. You've come at a good time. I've just finished running those tests. I must ask, where did you acquire that concoction? 'Tis a fell thing you got there. To be plain, 'tis more poison than physic. It has the potential to heal one's ailments, certainly. But only if they could survive long enough, which isn't likely. Worse still, it has addictive properties that are likely to cause the patient to become dependent on its deadly effects. I say patient, but I should hope whoever made this did not intend it as a method of treatment. You'd have to be well and truly mad to attempt such a thing.
Is there aught I can help you with, sir? Oh, if you're looking for Lubomir, his condition deteriorated to the point that he had to be moved to the basement sick room. He's not allowed visitors, I'm afraid, not even family. Even we're not allowed to go see him. No need to worry, though. The Abbess is tending to him personally. She'll nurse him back to full health, I'm sure of it. The patients in this room must not be disturbed. Leave this place at once. What are you doing? Unhand me this instant.
Many thanks for your assistance in this matter. Elena is being questioned as we speak. Suffice to say, your testimony, combined with the evidence you've procured, have cast a great deal of suspicion upon the Abbess that she isn't like to shake. Pray have this, sir. 'Tis your reward for aiding us in our duty to this city.
Burnworth's
What's this? Come to admire my sculptures, have you? Ho ho! To think my eminence as a collector would reach in the ears of the Arisen. If only my collection were complete, I'd fain allow you to inspect it. Alas, the sculpture that I commissioned to be its centerpiece is yet to arrive, and 'twould wound my pride to have you behold my collection ere 'tis made whole. If your curiosity shall not be denied, however, mayhap you consider paying a visit to the sculptor in my stead. The man's home is located in Bakbatal. You need only tell him that I eagerly await the sculpture's completion.
Oh, heavens above! What are we to do? 'Twas you, wasn't it? You took the Abbess from us. How could you do this? The acts she committed were unforgivable. This I cannot deny. But what do you expect will befall the rest of us in her absence? Without the Abbess, we cannot possibly attend to all our patients. Without her guidance, I... Forgive me. 'Twas an improper thing to say in light of the lives taken so unjustly. I will do what I can, but I fear I cannot attend to everyone here.
What? You had the Abbess arrested? Why, she's the Lady Saint, isn't she? Ah, of course. That's why you had me look at that mixture. Well, I'll have naught more to do with this, thank you. In fact, I rather wish you hadn't involved me to begin with. But I suppose I could be persuaded to change my mind. Don't look at me like that. If you want my services, 'twill cost you. That's how the world works. I'll require a significant donation if I'm to alleviate the effects of that so-called medicine. See? That wasn't so difficult, was it? You'll find that I'm happy to aid those in need, so long as I get my dues.
A useful ingredient.
'Tis you. You can't know how grateful I am to you. I could feel death's hand at my throat, and that horrid Abbess urging it to choke the life out of me. But owing to your aid, here I am, feeling myself again. Truly, sir, I cannot thank you enough.
Good tidings, sir. A doctor has come, Sir Radcliffe. He's been tending to our patients, and I am thrilled to say that their condition is much improved. He's even instructed us on how to care for them properly. I am eternally grateful for his aid. We were in desperate need of guidance, you know. But when I told him as much, he said to save my thanks for you. I know not what transpired, but thank you, nevertheless. Though we have no doubt lost favor in the people's eyes, I shall strive to earn it back. I hoped you might make use of this.
My, I'm trapped like a rat in a cage. This Arisen's both shrewd and fleet of foot. What? Can't you think of a reason? I'd thought you were keener wit than that. Let's just say there are some who don't want you wandering about as you please. I was to report on your comings and goings, you see. But I suppose that job's over. Now you found me out? So, how about it, friend? Will you let me go? I've no reason to trouble you any further. Aye, aye. You'll have your coin. That's how this works, isn't it? Haha, glad we understand each other. I'll be on my way then.
You showed mercy to the Agent Master. How very gracious of you.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. While examining the palace ledger for evidence of the Queen Regent's misdeeds, I made a curious discovery. For some time now, it seems she has been diverting a veritable mountain of gold to the daily purchase of sweet crown flower. What's more, this inexpedient spending habit is recorded to have begun the very day on which Arthur, the would-be Arisen, appeared on the scene. This cannot be mere happenstance. I can only conclude that these sums are passing into the hands of Arthur himself. Yet 'tis strange, for sweet crown flowers only grow on the eastern edge of Vermund. I dare say 'twas not an item chosen idly. Mayhap this knowledge will guide us in our pursuit of the false sovereign. 'Tis a frail hope to be certain. Yet all the same, I would ask that your Majesty venture to Vermont's eastern edge and probe into this young man's origins. I am glad to hear it, for I cannot shake the feeling that uncovering the identity of the false sovereign is the key to unraveling Deeza's scheme and securing your enthronement.
You there! Are you looking to enter the village? You'd best go elsewhere, friend. What's wrong about this place? There's no business to be had here, that's for sure.
Honor. 'Tis a letter most inscrutable, and I fear it will remain as such if we cannot find another piece to this puzzle.
Oh, you've a sharp eye. Suppose I ought not to have underestimated you, Sir Arisen. You wonder how I know? For starters, 'tisn't just me. The entire village recognizes you for what you are, cuz. Naught mysterious about it. We've our sources, and that's all I'm saying. But don't worry yourself. I'm actually on your side, in a sense. Can't offer you any help, though. Village code and all that. Still, I suppose I could give you a bit of advice. If I were you, I'd try doing to someone else what I was just doing to you. Know what I mean? I've a hefty wager riding on you, cuz. Don't let me down, eh?
Do to someone else what I just did to you. What could she have meant by that?
The villagers' stares are sharp as daggers. What is their intent, I wonder?
You say that, but I sense no hostility. Whatever's going on here, I don't think they mean us any harm.
Ah, you must be the visitor I've heard so much about. Have you some business here in the village? You would know of our village? As you can see, 'tis a simple place, tucked away on the eastern edge of Vermund. Is there aught else I can help you with, sir? Arthur. 'Tis a name unfamiliar to me, I'm afraid. At least, no one by that name lives here, sir. As you like, sir.
Never seen you about. You the outsider? The Lord spoke of you. Come on, follow me. I've something real nice to show you.
Hail! I take it you're the outsider my lord mentioned? How'd he know to expect you? I couldn't tell you. Why not ask him yourself? You'll find him in the manor atop the on-hill.
Greetings. I must say I'm impressed by your intuition, sir. You found me out far sooner than most. I trust you are enjoying your sojourn in our fair village. If you have any questions, ask away. I should be glad to aid you. If aught about our humble village seems strange to you, that is easily explained. For 'tis here that thieves are instructed in the skills they require. To begin with, those who wander into the village are evaluated for their potential aptitude. Of course, you are no exception. That you stand here now is proof you were deemed a worthy candidate. Which is to say, you have my approval as the Thiefmeister. Is there aught else you'd care to ask? You're curious what I know of you? Quite a bit, I should think. Naturally, I'm not the only one. Our village has its own network of spies and informants, you see, and your title tends to make you stand out among the rumors we collect. You're the second Arisen to come to Vermund, and you've allied yourself with Captain Brant against the Queen Regent. In response, she's... Oops, I mustn't say another word. Don't misunderstand. I'm no ally of the Queen Regent. I merely strive to maintain neutrality in political matters. Those who deal in information must ne'er align themselves with a particular power. Such is our village code. Is there aught else you'd care to ask? Arthur, you say? I've lived in this village many a year, but I can't say I've heard of someone by that name. My apologies. Is there aught else you'd care to ask? Beg pardon? Why would you ask such a thing? A letter? Oh, you've made quite the discovery. Brass means imitating someone in thieves' cant. This letter means to say someone's taken on such a request. Naturally, I can say nothing as to the who or what of the arrangement. I'm sure you understand. Is there aught else you'd care to ask? Aye. Take care, then. You, sir, are worthy of inheriting my ultimate technique. Once mastered, 'twill allow you to fell all foes, both minuscule and mighty. Take it, and do with it what you will.
You made it after all. Guess that means I win. Oi, you lot best pay up.
Dear me.
You didn't disappoint, did you? You've done well. Seems only fair I answer any questions weighing on you. Go on. Ask away. Figures you'd want to know about him. We're supposed to be neutral. Ordinarily, I wouldn't say a word about one of our jobs. But I suppose I can tell you, the situation being what is. His real name is Dara. He was one of us, once. But he's been exiled. We had no choice, see? After he went off to play the false arisen, we're men and women of shadow. Center stage isn't our place to stand. That's why he was cast out. He'll ne'er be part of our village again. That all you wanted to ask? What can I say? Not many people bother with this place. Luckily for me, you were different. Knew I was right to bet in favor of the Arisen. Anyway, most visitors get fooled into going up to the manor. We send them packing with a trifle, and if they don't question it, good riddance. Anyone that complacent has got no business being a thief. We only train the rare few who make it here. Some might go so far as to say that the entire village was built around this spot. That all you wanted to ask? For all this, Dara was in line to become the next thief maester. But he failed. Took a massive injury to the chest during the trial. So the title fell to me. That's when he went off, saying he used the scar in his chest to pose as the Arisen. And what a scheme that turned out to be, eh? Now he gets to sit pretty on the best seat in the kingdom. Still, you'd have a hard time proving that he's not who he says he is. He's a wily one, that Dara. Always was careful not to leave behind a shred of evidence. But we can't have him thinking that he gets to go off and enjoy a peaceful life in a lap of luxury after breaking our code. Methinks he needs something to remind him of the debt he owes us. Here, this should do the trick. Now, as to the Maester's teaching, not sure you'll be able to use it to its fullest potential, but I'll show it to you.
Ah, you must be the visitor I've heard so much about. Have you some business here in the village? Dara? That man isn't associated with our village anymore. In fact, if e'er you should meet him, pray inform him that he is no longer welcome here. As you like, sir.
Have you divined aught of the false sovereign, your majesty? This appears to be a bill calling for the arrest of a man named Dara.
But hold a moment. Does this man's countenance not bear an uncanny resemblance to that of the false sovereign?
I see. If your majesty is certain that the two are one and the same, then I am convinced as well. However, I'm afraid this paper alone does not constitute sufficient proof. Ah, but of course. I surmise your majesty intends to post the bill and invite suspicion. A clever plan. The Queen Regent will be forced to deny any connection to our new sovereign, yet will be unable to remove the bill from the public eye. Furthermore, 'twill serve as an attestation to Dara's existence, which shall remain an undeniable truth till the man resurfaces. And all the while, the doubts lurking in the hearts of the citizenry will continue to deepen. A clever ploy indeed. I shall attend to this matter personally. I've no doubt that this bill will prove its worth in due course. You have my gratitude, your majesty. Your aid has been invaluable. Of all those who serve the Queen Regent, there is but one who I have no doubt will lend his support to your majesty's cause. I refer to Waldar, a magistrate. Many a time has Disa demanded Waldor amend the code of Vermont to her own benefit. And many a time has the magistrate refused her, for he is loyal to none but the spirit of the law. As a result, he now sits in a cell beneath the palace. Our laws dictate that your majesty is our rightful ruler. Thus, as the staunchest supporter of the law known to the palace, I'm quite confident that Waldor will be willing to vouch for your majesty. What say you? Might you be willing to aid me in arranging the magistrate's release? I've prepared a means for you to enter the palace dungeons. Pray, take this. This mission demands the utmost secrecy. Prithee be cautious, your majesty. Should you be discovered, I will be unable to lend aught in the way of aid.
So, you've come. Captain Brant bade me allow you passage.
Oh, looking for the Jadeite orb, are you? Can't say I've seen it, or heard of it for that matter. Mind refreshing my memory? It's all coming back to me now. Which is to say, I've not a clue. But I can tell you what I'd do if I nicked a treasure like that. My first stop would be Ibrahim's scrap store. Got to be sure my price is the genuine article, eh? The scrap stores are in the checkpoint rest town. Might be worth a look, see?
You. I wonder how you must feel, having locked me away in this dismal place. Do you think yourself just? If so, you are sorely mistaken. There are many in this world who require salvation. I merely borrowed the aid of those who could offer it. Just as there are theories that may only be tested on living flesh, so are mortal bodies the sole source of certain materials. And, whatever you may think, all lives are not made equal. 'Tis the truth, whether you choose to acknowledge it or not. The sickly folk of the slums are fated to die, to waste away till death grants them its mercy. I merely gave their deaths a greater purpose. If anything, I deserve your praise, not this awful cell. So, Lubomir made a full recovery, did he? I'm sure his parents must be delighted.
And have you come to release me from this jail? Who are you? Aha! Then we are presented with three options. Either the law of our world that allows only one arisen has been upended, or Disa's arisen is false, or you are lying to me. Have you proof that you are arisen, as you say? Ah, they say the Arisen's breast bears a wound akin to the dragon's claw. By that mark, 'twould seem 'tis true. This reminds me of a happening 148 years ago. During the reign of Regent Alphonse, a man named Crusoe appeared and claimed to be Arisen. He went before the people, insisting that he, and not Regent Alphonse, was the true Arisen, the one fit to lead them as their ruler. And what befell him, you ask? Ha! Crusoe was discovered to be a liar, whereupon his head was liberated from his shoulders on the spot. Aye, I dare say your arrival portends another beheading, but whose will it be, Escape? But why? Here, I spend my days perusing the code and deciphering old texts. I can devote all my time to my own interests. And I need not turn my ear to Disa's absurd demands. 'Tis a paradise to me, this cell. That said, if you know of a place with a mountain of tomes I could delve into, I might rethink the matter. Tell me, does that ring any bells? Oh, to think such a place existed. How very curious. Guide me outside, then. If you can deliver me from this pit, I ought to be able to find the rest of the way on my own. Aye, this should be far enough. My thanks. If you truly are arisen, then I swear to someday repay this debt I owe. Words may be wind, but there's naught else I can offer you at present. Pray visit me if you've the time or inclination. Mayhap the knowledge I've gained reading tomes of Eld could be of some use to you.
Tell us.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true arisen. It seems Magistrate Wardor has been safely delivered from his cell. The man's dedication to justice shall doubtless be a great boon to our cause. Mayhap it would be prudent to visit the man on occasion and avail yourself of his vast stores of wisdom. He might have knowledge that could benefit you on your travels. Now, would you be so kind as to return the key I lent you? I thank you. Pray, take this. Consider it remuneration for your Majesty's efforts.